Hello everyone, this is lecture 24 for the electricity and magnetism. In the last lecture we were discussing about the magnetization and we are seeing the Ampere's law in the magnetic material. And we know the Ampere's law is this: del cross B equal to mu naught J. This is the differential form, and integral form is B dot dl equal to mu naught I enclosed, and divergence of B is always 0. Then we have seen the Ampere's law in the magnetic material is del cross H equal to Jf. This is the free current, and del dot H equal to minus del dot M, and the integral form was H dot dl equal to If. Now this is valid, means H is depending on the free current only when this del dot H equal to 0, because del dot B is equal to 0. So put them on the equal footing, only we need that del dot H must be 0. So we know for the symmetry del dot M is 0, and we can say that H is depending on the free current only, where H is B by mu naught minus M, where M is magnetization. Now see, B from here is mu naught H plus M, and I already told you this: if del dot M is 0, then source of H is only free current, and this is the symmetrical cases. In the symmetrical cases, this equation is valid. And if IF equal to 0, then we will see that IF equal to 0, then H must be 0, and H will be 0, then B will be mu naught M. So for when there is no free current, then B is nothing but mu naught M. So we already find this. Now this is what we discussed in the last lecture. Now let's see what is linear magnetic material. So linear magnetic materials are those of which the magnetization is depending on the H linearly, means power of 1. So this is called the magnetic susceptibility. So M is related with H with this relation. Now let's use this relation in this: B equal to mu naught H plus M. So it will be equal to mu naught H plus chi M H, and it will be, take the H common, it will be 1 plus chi H. It can be written as mu naught mu R H, where mu R is 1 plus chi. This is called the relative permeability, and now mu naught mu R can be written as mu H. So B is given by mu H. So B is directly related with H with this. So this is relative permeability. Now you must remember these relations, very important. Now see, when there is a homogeneous medium, so as we discussed in the electrostatic case for the dielectric, this is the same things just in the magnetization and the magnetic material. So you can relate all of these things. So here chi m is uniform if the medium is homogeneous. Then we know what is the bound currents, that is del cross M, and M is given by chi H, means from here chi H. So we just substitute it here, and it will give you chi M del cross H, and del cross H is nothing but JF from here. So see, if we know chi M for the medium and the free current passing through that, then we can directly find the bound charge also, volume bound charge, that will be related by this relation. So you must remember this very important relation. Let's see one example based on this. A current I flows in a long straight wire, so that will be the free current of radius A. Wire is made of linear homogeneous material, means chi M will remain constant, of susceptibility chi M, and current I is uniformly distributed throughout the volume. So if this is your long straight wire, then current I is passing through this, and it is uniformly distributed. So current density can be given by I per unit area, that is pi A square. So this will be Z cap in the direction of Z cap. So this is your current density. Now we need to find the bound charges. First part is find all the bound currents. So for the bound current, we know JB equal to del cross M, and del cross M we just derived it, that is equal to chi M JF. And now what is JF? JF is here, so just substitute it here, I by pi A square Z cap. So this will be your bound current, okay, means volume bound current. Now for the surface bound current, it is M cross N cap. Now N cap is in the perpendicular direction this way, so it will be R cap. And first we need to find the magnetization for this. So let's find the magnetization, because M is related with chi M H, so we need to find the H. And we know this is a symmetrical case and the homogeneous, so this relation will be valid, means this H dot dl equal to IF. So let's use this relation. So H into 2 pi R for inside when R is less than A is radius. So H 2 pi R equal to I by pi A square. This is the total current, means current density multiply the area, that is pi R square, will give you total current passing through this. So from here H will be equal to IR by 2 pi A square phi cap. So this H will be in the direction of tangential to this wire. So we have now H. So inside the wire we can find the magnetization or the surface bound current, that will be M cross N cap. Now M is nothing but chi M into H, so chi M multiply this, and at the surface R will be equal to A, so it will be chi M IA divided by 2 pi A square, and this will be, and for N cap it is R cap, and for M it is phi cap, so phi cap cross R cap will give you minus Z cap. So this will be your surface bound current, and this will be your volume bound current. Now for the R greater than A, this relation is also valid, so it will be simply H into 2 pi R equal to I, that total current is I passing through this, divided by this. So this will be your H for the outside. Now we need to find the magnetic field inside and outside the wire. So for the outside wire, we know that their total bound current will be 0. So only the magnetic field will be due to this free current. And and B is given by, we just find this relation B equal to mu h. It is valid everywhere. So for the inside the wire, mu is nothing but mu naught 1 plus chi. And h is, we already find for the inside wire, that is IR by 2 pi square. So this will be your B inside the wire. For outside, mu will be simply mu naught, because this will be chi m will be 0. For the outside there is no magnetic material, so B is equal to mu naught h. So it will be h is mu naught I by 2 pi r phi cap. Now this is your magnetic field inside and the outside, and total bound current will be 0. You can see here, this current per unit area multiply the pi r square will give you total current passing through this. This is the volume bound current. Now for surface, it will be kV multiplied 2 pi r. This is current per unit length, and the 2 pi r is complete circumference for the surface. So see, this will be chi m I, and this will be minus chi m I. This will give you 0. So this equation is valid here also. Now let's see the boundary conditions. So as we discussed in the electrostatics, here also, as we decided, means this B, H and A. So there we have the E, D, the displacement vector and the potential. Here we have the magnetic field and the H field and the vector potential. So we need to find the boundary condition for this. Means there is an interface between two different mediums. The one medium and the two medium, there can be two different magnetic materials. So we need to find the boundary condition for them at the interface. So first let's see for the B. So let's say this is your interface, and this is the B1 perpendicular and this is the B2 perpendicular. This is passing through this interface like this. So there will be, let's consider this small cuboid structure that is very thin. So we know the del dot B is equal to 0 for every case, divergence of B is 0. So from here we can just write the integral form, that in the surface integral, B dot dA equal to 0. Now for only these two surfaces, this upper A and this lower A will give you the B. So first for this it will be BA, and for this it will be minus BA, because this is in this direction and area in the downward direction for the down one. So it will be BA minus B2 perpendicular A, and all other faces will give you 0 because they will be at 90 degree with the B. So from here this will be equal to 0 and B1 perpendicular will be equal to B2 perpendicular. So they will be continuous, mean perpendicular component will be continuous here for the magnetic field. That will be valid always. Now see for the parallel components. So there will be two parallel components. One, they are parallel to this, means this is perpendicular to this K component. So that is this parallel. So let's see the relation for this. So we have to consider this in line integral. So B dot dl equal to mu naught I enclosed. This is the Ampere's law. So again B1 parallel L, and this will be minus B2 parallel L, and all others will give you 0. That will be equal to mu naught, and the current passing through this is nothing but this length multiply the K. So mu naught KL. So see from here, B1 parallel minus B2 parallel is something. So this is not continuous, and this is not continuous, and this is perpendicular to K. Must remember this, because we can take the parallel components in the direction of K also, and that will be continuous, because here we will get the current as 0, because this surface is parallel to this, so there is nothing passing through this. So it will be B1 parallel equal to B2 parallel for this case, when B is parallel to K. But when B is parallel to means perpendicular to K, then there will be discontinuity, and that will be equal to this. So in general we can write B1 minus B2 as mu naught K cross N, because K cross N, K is in this direction and N is upper direction, so K cross N will give you this direction. So there will be a discontinuity only in this direction, that will be equal to this. So must remember this relation, that how B varies at the interface. Now let's see for the H. Now for the H, we know this is the relation H dot dl equal to I free current. Now see, again we can just consider the parallel and the perpendicular components. So for the parallel components here, when this is perpendicular to this, so H1, again you can just use the same, there is a structure, a square type structure, and H1 parallel minus H2 parallel, all other will give you 0, equal to the passing current is nothing but Kf multiply L. So L will be cancelled out both sides, so you will get this. So you must see the electrostatics, my electrostatic lectures for this boundary conditions, so that will be very useful for you here. So H1 parallel equal to H2 parallel only when the Kf is 0. If Kf is 0, then this will be equal to this, but if Kf is not 0, then there will be discontinuity in this direction, but not in this direction. In the parallel of Kf, you will get the continuity. So if Kf is 0, H1 parallel is equal to H2 parallel always, if Kf is 0. But if Kf is not 0, then this perpendicular components will have the discontinuity. Now for the H perpendicular component, how they will vary. So we know this relation del dot H equal to minus del dot M, and from here we can just take the integral form, that will be in the surface area terms. and again we can just consider a cuboid, and that will give you h1 perpendicular minus h2 perpendicular equal to this perpendicular minus this. So this, see, there is a discontinuity. When they are equal, only then this will be equal to this. So must remember these discontinuity. Now let's see for the vector potential. So for the vector potential, there is this. So again we will consider the two cases, the perpendicular and the parallel. So for the perpendicular cases, we know we will use this relation, that divergence of A is 0. So this will just take the surface integral, that will must be 0. So again this will give you A1 perpendicular equal to A2 perpendicular, considering the cuboid here. So just this is the same cases as we discussed there. Now for the parallel components, we will use this relation, A dot dl equal to B dot dA. We already proved this relation. And see, here we have to consider this square loop, or you can say cuboid loop, and this length is L. So this delta is very thin, so this tends to 0. So what is the area considered here? That will be covered here, that will be tends to 0, means area will be 0, L multiplied delta. So this right hand side will be 0, and from here this A L1 means A1 parallel L and minus A2 parallel L, that will be 0. So A1 parallel equal to A2 parallel. So here they are continuous, A1 is continuous to A2. Okay, means they will remain same. So vector potential is continuous in every case, and there is continuity as we discussed above for the H and B. Now let's discuss some example based on this. So this is your interface, and Kf is given as 0 for this surface interface. There is no surface current, and this B is came at the angle theta 1 and it is going at the theta 2. So we need to find tan theta 1 theta divided by tan theta 2. So again tan theta 1 is nothing but B1 parallel divided by B2 B1 perpendicular, and divided by B2 parallel divided by B2 perpendicular. So from here we will see that B1 perpendicular equal to B2 perpendicular always. So it will be B1 parallel divided by B2 parallel. And as Kf is 0, so H1 parallel equal to H2 parallel always. So you must remember these relations, and you can see the electrostatic lecture. We have already discussed these things here, there also. So they are just the same question can be asked here also. So in the next lecture we'll discuss some more examples. That's all for today. Thank you everyone.